An angle is created when you have two rays that join at a single point called the vertex. So, and this is something that we should all be familiar with. Okay, you've got two rays and they join at this point, which we call the vertex, and that creates an angle. And we'd like to kind of standardize how we approach angles and how we measure them. So we're going to start by talking about the standard position of an angle. Because every angle is created by two rays, what we're going to do is kind of look at placing that on the coordinate plane with x and y axes. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose the positive x-axis to place one ray always. Okay, and so we're going to have that, some ray along the positive axis, and then the angle that created with the other ray. Okay. I'll just kind of draw something that looks something like what I have over there, okay? This now is drawn in what we will call standard position, with this one side on the positive x-axis and the other, in some other position. Now, this side that is on the positive x-axis, we're going to call that the initial side. The initial side. And think about moving from that side through the other side. And the other side we're going to call the terminal side. Meaning as we think about this angle, we think about this kind of sweeping out, okay, this angle there. It starts out here, that's this initial spot, and it stops right here, or it terminates here into the terminal side. So this is the standard position of an angle. Now, we actually here, kind of just the way I drew it, kind of assumed that it was that, this angle here between those two. But it turns out that actually these two rays create another angle. We could have thought of it as kind of going around like this, okay? And so we need to kind of be careful about, when we are measuring angles, that we are aware of which direction we're moving. If you are moving in a counterclockwise direction to create your angle, like this red one here, then we will measure the angle as a positive value. Okay, so counterclockwise is measured as a positive value. And if we go counterclockwise, those will be negative angles. Finally, we'd like to be able to discuss where the terminal side lies. And we do that through quadrants of the plane. We have the xy plane, and you can see that the x and y axes split it pretty naturally into four different regions. Okay, this top right region here, we're going to call that the first quadrant. And so I'm going to go, and generally we denote it with a Roman numeral. So this is the first quadrant, and as we move counterclockwise, we then get the other numbers: the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. Okay? And those are the four quadrants of the plane. And so if I say that I have a positive angle in the second quadrant, then I know generally that I start here and I go counterclockwise into that. Okay? And that just gives us another way of talking about the angles.